Hello. How you guys
Hello.
doing?
Hello.
What's up?
Hello,
Hi.
hello,
What do you think I'm
hello.
talking to the listeners?
Well, sometimes you say
I
welcome to the
mean, not
podcast.
sometimes, not sometimes, every single time.
All right. It's only been like 360 or so of the 379, including today's episode of the Unranked podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Chris News, Alex Marinell,
Hi.
Dan Wee,
Hello.
Tom Caswell.
Hey.
All right. Boys.
Yeah.
I think we just jump right into it.
Okay, go ahead.
It's the end
Of the world.
of the Gen 3 trio. We are weeks away from the end of this generation of Pokemon.
Crazy.
The final of the Rock Golem trio, probably or definitively the worst trio in the series. I think a lot of people might argue. Registeel.
People would.
Registeel, who's probably the best of the three stat wise, and typing wise as a straight steel type Pokemon. However, still not exactly the most exciting Pokemon out there. I don't know if you guys have pulled it up yet to take a look, but if not,
no, I don't need to pull it up and take a look. I think I based on
okay,
the last two.
Based on the last three.
Tell us. What do you think?
I think it looks like a steel being with Eternal's
a steel being
eyes and
Eternal's eyes, yes.
Eternal's eyes.
Funny.
And it's probably got, if I had to guess, I would say that it's like silver, gray,
bunch of eyes,
black,
and then the Eternal eyes.
Yep.
Yeah.
What color are the eyes?
yellow.
Wait, purple and yellow. No, neither. Otherwise, all the colors were accurate. They're red. Now you might want to pull it up if you want to tell us about that name etymology.
I think it may be a combination of Regis and Steel.
Which I think we.
I almost made the joke 3 weeks in a row. I didn't want.
Let me just make sure. Yes, according to this, the name origin may be a combination of Regis, Latin for royal, and Steel. Who would have guessed?
This thing kind of looks like Dr. Robotnik would have built it to go kill Sonic in.
This one does look like it's an alien. Like it looks very non-human. It looks like it's meant to come from outer space.
I'm curious if Tuna, because I wasn't here last week, and then he wasn't here the first week of these three. I'm curious if you guys may have discussed or had asked whether these Pokemon do get a slight bump because their etymology is based in the Latin.
I don't know if we covered that. I think we quickly moved. We quickly moved out of the Pokemon realm. We quickly moved on.
Well, let me tell you, this one has the best fun fact. So when this game came out in Japan and in the US, its sprite was it was basically doing a Z-Kyle. It was doing like a Hitler salute in both of them. It had its right arm up,
was cool again,
at like a perfect angle. It was a very the internet let Nintendo know all about it. Of course, the internet memed it to death, thought it was really funny. Also, other people got very offended by it. So when the EU, like the UK version was coming out, they changed it. They gave him the 2 arms down look that you see him in now. And then when they did Platinum, the third version, the US and Japan ones were also changed to the new sprite because it was basically doing a Hitler salute.
Let's see, if I search Registeel salute, can I find it?
Probably.
I want to see. I wonder if.
Yep.
I wonder if the sprite on the Bulbapedia is. Let me see.
No,
it's
the 2 arms
original
down
versus what they ended up going
with. My god.
Yeah.
Who the fuck did that? And
I think what they're trying to go
for.
How is
that possible?
I think they're trying to go for like the I'm about to attack you.
Yeah, but how do you fuck that straight up?
I don't know,
man.
man.
You don't have an elbow. I think that's what helps.
Wait.
How do you fuck that up?
But the in Diamond and Pearl,
The original Diamond and Pearl, the U.S. and Japan Diamond and Pearl.
But Diamond,
my God.
this is a Ruby and Sapphire.
I mean, that might be an animated sprite.
I know, but like it's doing it, bro.
Oh my god.
That's the original.
Wow.
It's
Yeah.
actually doing the salute.
I can't
Wild.
believe no one thought who made this game, who saw that sprite.
Maybe
Well,
they
like,
did think, and then they were like,
I do have to
"This will be
say, in a
hilarious."
way, this
'Cause people-
fucking
there are
weird
people out
thing
there.
that like obviously shouldn't have happened
you're right.
definitely
Sure,
makes
sure.
them suddenly more interesting. This Pokemon saved the
Hmm.
trio by being basically
A Nazi.
A Nazi.
yeah, by being a Nazi.
Mm.
Because you know what? No one saw coming. No one saw the Nazi Pokemon coming.
I mean,
No.
especially the ones that don't look like anything.
Yeah, the one that
Mm.
looks like it's from space.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
What?
So it didn't when it came out in Ruby and Sapphire. There were no issues. It was when it was in Gen 4. It was
okay.
Diamond and
I see.
Pearl. Yeah.
Cool. Well,
So
there you go.
fucking funny.
There's that Pokemon. How's
There's
everybody doing?
that Pokemon.
What's going on?
Doing well,
Yeah,
Christian. Doing
Pokemon.
well. Doing well. Doing well. Can't complain.
Can't
Cannot
complain at all.
There's nothing to
No.
complain about on the East
Well,
Coast.
it's good. It's good. We have
No.
a voicemail where he's complaining to make up for that for later.
Well, I
Oh,
mean,
good.
it is purely yellow, or it was very, very yellow
It
outside.
was very
earlier.
yellow out. I went outside literally, I don't know, an hour and a half ago.
It's cleared up
to-
a bunch.
Yeah, no, but I went to go talk to my neighbor, and whether this is
see what you did there.
bullshit or not, right? This is just my mind doing this. I spoke to him for about 20 minutes outside. When I came in, felt like I couldn't get a nice deep breath.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because you were breathing poison air.
Yeah.
It was horrible. 20 minutes, boom, coming in.
Can
My
you
throat actually feels like a little scratchy.
Can you smell it inside?
No, I could not smell
That's
it
good.
inside.
That's good.
I could not. Although, according to, I think for like a little bit today, New York City had the worst air quality in the world.
It was
Yeah.
for the last like 24
What was
hours.
the
or so.
ppm?
No, it wasn't 24 hours. I think when it was like peak,
It was no, because
worse
last night
than
it started.
China.
Last night it started.
Yeah, last night
Until
it
about
started.
this evening. So it's okay, fine, like 20 hours.
No, but I think like even like at the peak when New York City was like completely yellow orange was when it was like the worst in the world.
I thought it was.
Oh, it
normal
looked like
anyway.
it. Yeah, it got up to 266. It says.
Yeah. But yeah, so I looked out. I have my little window, and I didn't go outside today because
Mhm.
I was thinking about it, and then I heard
gotta
that
mask
it was
up.
terrible out, and so I looked to my right, and the window usually has like white light coming through, like sneaking through like the blinds. It was just purely yellow light. I was like,
Mhm.
this is
Ugh.
fucking weird.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm at my, for anyone that's just listening to the podcast, I'm down at my parents' place, which is in southern Pennsylvania, and we haven't had any yellow, but we have. It's been smoky, and like you can smell it
Mhm.
here. And we're, I'm over 100 miles away from New York right now.
Well, it's not like New York is on fire.
No, I know, but like,
Oh, but this was the best.
It's even. I can smell it even here.
Last night, for anyone who has the Ring, you get your neighborhood alerts.
The movie.
Oh yeah. Yep.
So like my phone was like going off on neighborhood alerts. People being like, does anyone smell any smoke in the area? Like, is there a fire in town? It's like, what the hell? Are you living under a rock? And then today, right? A good 12 hours later, no, maybe even more, like 18 hours later, I get another neighborhood alert. Someone typed, is there a fire in New York City? Like, how come they haven't put it out yet? This person got like, I don't know if they did it as a joke or what, but they got shat on in the thread in the comments section of their post.
That's an all-timer for that question we got. That was, what's the stupidest question?
Yeah. No, I mean the other stupidest one is when the 4th of July, it's 4th of July and people on the Ring are like, anybody hear gunshots?
I was about to bring that up, but for us, it's almost every day. Almost every day there'll be like a loud bang or something. People are like gunshots, and the first 3 comments are just fucking fireworks. Like, just shut up. It's never gunshots.
Yeah, it's never gunshots.
So this is other people near you that also use Ring.
Yeah,
it's
like for your neighborhood.
Yeah, it's your I guess it's like a certain mile radius. So
sounds annoying.
It is.
No, but I know one of our friends who lives
surveillance
3 towns over. He gets the same alerts as I do, so we're definitely in the same radius. But it's also It's funny because like your name and your location is not known. It just says like neighbor,
Mhm.
48 is
Yeah.
like whatever your number is. So it's
Are you allowed
like
to prank the group?
I'm neighbor like
I mean,
24 or something like that.
yeah, like I'm neighbor like 52. So like I guess if you knew who I was in that particular ring group, good luck. But it's hilarious. It's one of my favorite things to see some stupid posts.
Yeah. We also have the constant like missing pet, which is like the main reason I keep it in case like it's like 3 blocks over. Oh, our cat got out. Oh, our dog got out. Have you seen our parrots? That's my favorite one. Which you would be surprised how often a bird goes missing.
Just I mean, whenever anyone has a pet bird,
yeah, bird people are.
Isn't it just gonna fly away? Like, what's going on here?
I put bird people and snake people in the same group as like tarantula people too.
Tarantula people can go fuck themselves for sure.
I think basically like all caged
like
animals kind of go into the same.
It's like a bird person's worse than the other two because that bird all day is usually just noisy as shit and doesn't shut the fuck up. It just goes, even if it's not a parrot, it's like just fucking squawking away all fucking day. Unless you put the cover on it and trick it into being dark.
Oh, Steve has a bird, right? We were making fun of bird people. He was like, I have a bird.
I have a bird.
We're playing Halo, and it was just like singing. It was like had a little tune.
It was so funny. It was so funny. Oh.
And I knew that he had a bird, but like Tuna didn't know. And he was like, "What the fuck is going on?" So good, so good.
That was really funny. Oh my god,
good times. There's
wild parrots in LA. There's like a bunch of wild parrots because apparently 20 or 30 years ago, something like that, some parrots got imported. People had them as pets, and they got out, and now they just.
Yeah, this is how this
bred
happens.
a fucking bunch of parrots that are in like there's a big flock of parrots in a specific part of LA.
Do they talk or like do they all learn the same word from each other?
Oh, that's a good question. Like that orca that's in Australia, the one that's like teaching people how to say shit.
Of parrots going around like fuck you, fuck you.
I mean, that'd be pretty good. Did you hear about this? The killer whales? So I believe it's Australia. So killer whales typically don't attack humans.
Right.
Scary as fuck. Scariest things like in the water beside a hippo. However, they're apparently getting very aggressive, and they believe that it's all because of one that was like attacked and it's very aggressive, and it's teaching all the other orcas now in the area how to attack and sink ships.
This is went from like to Avatar almost, Way of Water.
Dude, it's so wild. It's so wild. It's so wild.
You don't need to see it, Dan. Read this news story.
I'm gonna watch the stupid movie later and probably tomorrow.
I loved it, but that's crazy.
Yeah.
Damn. What came first, the orca or the killer whale?
Like the name?
Yeah,
I would assume it already had the name orca and it was given the moniker killer whale.
Yeah, no, for sure.
I kind of feel like they were called killer whale, and there was like a movement where they were like, no, that's like really offensive.
I bet you orca's
and they changed it to orca.
Let's look it up. Let's look it up.
Probably the scientific name, and killer whale is what people would call it when they saw it.
No, little known fact: the killer whales staged a movement.
You didn't have to look anything up. You're just making shit up.
They staged a movement, right?
Okay.
They did, and they changed it to orcas because killer whales were extremely offensive because they didn't kill anything.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Plus,
I mean,
aren't they porpoises?
Well, here we go. Here's some.
Aren't they not actually whales? Aren't they dolphins?
They are. Yes, orcas are commonly referred to as killer whales, despite being a type of dolphin. Since the 1960s, the use of orca instead of killer whale has steadily grown in common use. The genus name Orcinus means of the kingdom of the dead.
Orcinus, so
belonging to orcas.
I'll tell you what, I don't know about orca coming into play from the 1960s. Pretty sure Free Willy brought it right back to killer whale. Yeah, very quick.
Tuna, you should have known this because Orcus was a god of the underworld, punisher of broken oaths in Etruscan and Roman mythology. As with Hades, the name of the god was also used for the underworld itself. Eventually, he was conflated with Dispiter and Plato. So wait, this guy was like Hades' buddy,
Tuna,
or he is Hades?
I gotta stop this because Tuna, By the way, they were called orcas back by the ancient Romans. So shut the fuck up with your killer whale bullshit.
Well, yeah,
I mean,
I guess.
that's completely inaccurate. I mean, like, I don't know where you're getting your information from. The internet. Give me a break.
Yeah, the internet really wants people to think that there's like these UFOs that are happening everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, hello.
Come on.
Sorry, we should go by what happens in Ring doorbell chat.
Yo,
That's
I love
official.
Don't
Look,
if you
all
think
that I
Ring
got-
doorbell chat is bad, you should download the Citizen app because the Citizen app will really make you paranoid. That is so much worse. It's like every kind of police call or fire call goes on there, or people will be like, "There's a fire, there's arson." This person just pops up. It just constantly tells you about every crime that happens around. That is not good.
No, not touching it.
Just to go back to Tom's Tuna, you should have known because it was Rome. Suck it. Don't know anything about Rome.
Well, we know that you're not its biggest fan.
Well, you better watch out because you better watch what you because PowerPoint episode is coming at some point.
We gotta talk after this, like briefly.
And if you want to learn about Orca, if you want to learn about that particular god,
pay attention.
Pay attention.
Pay attention. It was suggested to us a couple weeks ago. I don't know who was on. I think it was
I know what
myself,
you're talking
Dan,
about. So I
and
must have
Tom.
been here. Yeah.
It was suggested to us by, I can't remember who it was 100%, so I don't want to give the wrong person credit.
I could be wrong.
I want to say that calls in enough, but it might not have been.
We apologize that we can't remember.
For one of the slideshows, we should all be doing a slideshow for another person.
Sure.
So, like, I'll make one for a person, whatever. We can randomize
we have
that.
Present it without like context.
Yeah, there's no way
basically
you have context.
Doing impractical jokers. Yeah,
I love it. Or is it? This is a game mode in Jackbox as well.
Oh, is it? Is it in the newer one?
Yeah, in one of the newer ones. It's not the same idea, but it's like you are doing a presentation.
The pitches.
And
yeah.
Oh yeah.
I remember that. We did that with Alex. I remember
that was so.
That was a lot of fun.
Funny.
That was very good.
But anyway,
what did we do?
Jackbox.
Remember,
we
it's
did it
like
on a stream.
You have to present a slideshow, and someone else is picking what the next slide is, and you have to.
And like someone can like draw like lines over things.
If you take a spoon and draw a bunch of red squiggly lines, then you have an emu.
That was very good.
I
would do that again.
Good stuff.
Tom, actually, this is good. Yeah, yeah, I like it.
Well, what else going on? Anyone can feel free to.
Anyone? I feel like you're doing a. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Like a Q&A.
Dan, what's up?
No, hold on.
Let's see. Been home a lot. I haven't been doing much of anything. It's been. I was gonna go into work on Tuesday, and then I didn't get. I got like shitty sleep, and I went nah. So I was gonna go in tomorrow, which will be Thursday, and then I got an email from work saying the air quality is still supposed to be shit tomorrow. Not in those words, obviously. And if you don't have to come in, don't come in. So I guess I'm just not coming in at all this week. And
nice.
It's gonna be a nice 5 days of work.
Oh, that is good.
Has who here has seen Across the Spider-Verse?
I didn't end up seeing it.
Oh, you didn't end up seeing it?
No.
Oh shit.
Well, because I forgot it was coming out. I mean, I'm excited for it, but I'm not like.
But I thought you
were.
We were doing VR on Sunday, and you were like,
I was gonna go, and then I hadn't gotten tickets yet, so I went to go get tickets, and all the seats were crap. So I was like, I'm not gonna go.
Gotcha.
Yeah, we're just gonna go on Friday. I got tickets now for it, so I don't want to have shitty seats, and I want to see it in laser.
So Tom, what's the entire plot of that movie?
Yeah, so Spider-Man, he's going across the Spider-Verse this time, not just into it. Fantastic.
That's all I really want to know. It's fine.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I don't know if I trust. Okay, yeah, keep it very high level, Thomas.
The first one's called Into the Spider-Verse, right?
Yeah.
He doesn't even go into the Spider-Verse.
He does at the very end.
I think it's like I feel like his wife is dipping into the Spider-Verse.
It feels like the Spider-Verse went into him.
They are going into the other people are going into
his universe got penetrated. He wasn't penetrating anybody.
His universe was what I'm saying. He
was just shooting webs left and right while everybody kept penetrating him.
Reverse orgy, really.
It's really funny to watch this movie in contrast with like Marvel proper, or like the MCU like trying to do its multiversal stuff, and like just like how much better they've been. This does it. Yeah, I mean it's fantastic. It is, if you saw Into the Spider-Verse. I don't think it hits the emotional beats. Like if you've seen Into the Spider-Verse, you'll remember like the "What's Up, Danger" moment and how like epic that is. I don't think there's anything that is quite as powerful in this film as that, but it's still really strong and doing some really interesting stuff with the multiverse. It is definitely, going prepared, knowing that you're getting another one of these in a year's time, because it does leave on like a massive cliffhanger.
I wish it were a little shorter. It's edging up on kind of long.
You can feel it in moments, but fortunately, like by the time you get into the third half, which is when they really start introducing,
what you
like,
just
okay,
say?
here are all the when you get into the
Chris
third
heard this
half.
too.
I did, but I was gonna let it go. I wasn't gonna say anything.
When you get into the third act,
I wasn't gonna say anything.
When
I
you
was like,
get
that does make it sound a lot longer, by the way.
I
The third
heard
half is a lot.
in my mind, I heard act.
Yeah,
which is what in my mind
that's
I
what he
was
meant.
saying.
I just heard act. My brain just
I knew what he
filled
meant,
that in.
still.
Yeah.
No, but I didn't even hear half. Like I did not catch that. That was good.
You start in leaving the second half and entering the third. No, leaving the second act, you do feel a little bit of the length. I definitely feel like they were just like trying to. This is a movie that's trying to set up a massive sequel. It's trying to introduce a bunch of concepts about how this multiverse works, but it's also trying to introduce a lot of emotional resonance. And like the movie as well, I feel, is not just like a Miles movie. Like it does feel like Gwen gets a lot of story focus as well. It's a lot about an arc for that character. And so we do a lot of setting that up before we even like get to Miles at points. And so you do feel the length, but then once you hit that third act and the multiversal shenanigans start going off, my theater at the end of the movie was screaming and cheering like I'd never heard before, like even beyond like Avengers Endgame stuff. Like when the cliffhanger drops, everyone was just like cheering. So yeah, fantastic film, and definitely go see it in a fucking movie theater if you can.
All right, I'll see you when it comes on Disney Plus.
So neighborhood alerts.
Yes.
Naked man on center lane. Guy walking
Tuna,
around
get
naked
off of center lane.
on the center lane.
Where's center lane from? How many blocks away is center lane from you?
What?
I'm guessing center lane is like a street.
No, I think it's like on the highway. Like
on the highway, like the center lane of the highway.
Yeah,
I think
so.
So.
Like the median.
Yeah, the median probably.
Okay.
That's what I assumed.
I don't know.
That meant.
I figured it was a street. I have no idea. Tuna might know.
Do you know, Alex?
No.
Okay. Anyway, if you do.
Okay. Well, sorry you guys are in the shitty air over there. It's probably hopefully it won't become normal, but it will probably. Just
I'm just excited for the fires to move further down.
Yeah, I mean,
seem up close.
It's all the woods that you got, up in Canada that are on fire. So
Quebec.
You're gonna have trouble with that, probably the same way that they have trouble with it on the West Coast in like September, which like that also gets into like California, because we had that like a few years ago.
I saw a
you get air
TikTok.
purifiers.
I saw a TikTok of this was in Alberta and Banff, and there was a couple driving in a car, and they were like the woods are on fire right next to them. Like they're like, is this safe? Can we be driving through this? And they're passing through a part of the road. There's a huge wildfire you could see like on the edge of the road to the left of them. On the right side, the grass is like on fire. They're like, it's hot. Can you believe how hot it is? Like, yes, you're driving through a fire. Get the fuck out of there.
It was when we had them here a few years ago. It was I mean, the photos were insane. Just like the highway, just cars just driving, like going to work, and it's just everything's on fire on both sides. It looks like you're in hell. Like the sky is like black and red. The parts per million were up in like the 400s at one point. It was crazy.
Score.
It was not good for anybody, is what I would say. But yeah, you should wear masks when you go outside if it's like that. It's like we're used to it already. At least people have them now. It's
I saw a TikTok from The Verge. Have you guys seen those the Dyson headphones that have the air purifier?
Yeah.
It's a pair of headphones, Dan, and then there's like another bridge, right? But it goes in front of your mouth, and then it has like a puck in the middle. And so they unveiled this during the height of COVID, and now it's finally come out. Obviously, once everyone like stopped wearing masks. But one of the writers at The Verge was like, "Well, this is a perfect time to like really put this thing to the test," and they took it out. And they were like looking at the app because this thing is meant to be able to read.
You probably, right?
Yeah, it's meant to be able to read like the air quality around you. And the app is like, "You're all good." And she's like filming herself with like Manhattan's in the background, like on fire. Like, yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Fuck that thing. Why is that even a thing?
Oh, dude, there was Will.i.am like came up with a thing. Razer, remember Razer, Chris?
Yeah.
They did one. Like everyone was like, "Oh, cool."
I have one of the battery powered masks with fans.
It was that double-edged sword of like all these companies were like, "Cool, a new market that we can squeeze for every penny." But then on the other side of it, companies' best friends, Republicans, were like, "No masks. We're not masking," and like ruined all of those products.
Yep.
Oh man. Anyway.
It's really good for any time I'm doing like sawing or sanding of stuff too.
Yeah.
It's basically just a respirator.
It's like goggles for your mouth.
Yeah. It's just the fan is so nice in it because it keeps your face cool. It keeps it from getting all sweaty. So
you should wear it while doing VR, Chris.
I don't think so. No, I was playing VR before we were recording today. And when I play VR, so it doesn't get hot, which like right now it's not really getting hot anyway, so probably don't really need to do this. It's been unseasonably cold all year in Los Angeles. We haven't had a single day like above 75 yet this year. Like
it is great.
It is still again like for the foreseeable week going to be like a high of like 69, like 70 degrees.
Perfect temperature.
It's wild. Yeah, but I'm ready to like go in the pool and shit.
I gotcha.
Like last weekend, John Murphy wanted to hang out, do a pool weekend. Because it said it might be like 76, and then it wasn't. It was like 71. That was like that was the hottest it's been.
Have you thought about peeing in the pool enough to warm it up?
I don't got that big of a bladder. I couldn't do it.
Yeah, when you pee in the pool and it's like warm around you for a second, you're like, this is nice.
Perfect temperature.
Exactly. I should be swimming in my own.
Honestly, I think the pool's heated, right? But if the air is cold, the pool's even like the heating element in the pool doesn't get it warm enough, and then like everything that's not like under the water is freezing because of the air is cold. So
no, I get
but so when I play VR, I disconnect the garage door because I'm nervous that like Therese is gonna like take the car, go out, and like come back through the garage, and like I'm just gonna be playing VR like looking like a psychopath. And then there'll be like an awkward thing of like I won't hear it or know that the door is like open. It's like true, but then B, a lot of times like I'll just play in like my shorts or my underwear, my t-shirt, so I'm not getting hot naked. And I don't want that door opening by accident, so I just pull the thing, disconnect it so the door drops, and then I just click it back on right after because nobody needs to see that. So Tom and I played some more VR this week. We played more of Knock, which we are big fans of. We're loving, which is now also coming to PC VR as well. So there's going to be even more players coming soon, Tom, because it was just Oculus, I think, before, and then PlayStation, now PC. But I loaded up the mini golf game that Tom and I have been playing, and they have two versions of every course. There's the normal version and the hard version. The hard version I played. We did a course a few days ago. It was sort of like a Scotland style course.
Yeah,
maybe.
it was like a mountain, like a coastal mountain region.
Yeah.
Probably like the British Open when they play at St. Andrews.
It was really nice, but it didn't have the extra flair that like the Japanese Garden or like the pirate like courses have. I put on the hard version. It's totally rethemed. It's that same course, but in like the winter, so everything's covered in snow and it's snowing while you're playing. That game, man, I was feeling really good about how I was getting at that game because we played a new course last week and I went, I think, -1, so I felt pretty good about that. The hard mode, I am not anywhere near ready for. I hit the max stroke limit on several of them. It's like they basically take a lot of the same courses, but they add new obstacles or they change one part of the geometry that makes it like significantly harder. The max stroke limit is 8 instead of 12. They added sand traps on things that didn't have them. They took away the walls on part of it, so like you could just hit it right off. It is really hard. So I ended up finishing like +11 when I got through that, which, you know, I went -1 on the regular, but that's after like we were goofing around on
I don't even think
too,
when we played the first level the first time, either of us got close to -11.
No.
Yeah, crazy.
No.
Crazy.
No, I was +11.
Well, that's
yeah. So but the other weird thing that's in this game is, and this is something I like, and you know how all the other mini golfs we've played, like 3D Ultra Mini Golf or Golf with Your Friends, stuff like that, you can unlock like different looking balls for the game, but a lot of them they like put behind DLC because they want to charge you for meaningless shit. In this game, they just hide a ball at every single hole, so it's like there's like a mini like treasure hunt game mixed into it. The hard level has its own balls as well. There was also like a knife I found, which I don't know what that was.
The fuck?
Yeah, it said I found one of 12 secret clues. And I was like, what the fuck?
Shit.
I was kind of hoping it'd be like a pummel that would go on the handle of my like golfing to make it look like it was like a knife. But it wasn't. Cool. It wasn't. I thought, I don't know what the knife is for, but I didn't find a single ball. So they're hidden way better. They're hidden way better, and there's 12 instead of 18, so you don't know which holes aren't. There's like a handful don't have it, so you also don't know which ones you're gonna like waste time looking for it on. So when we do play those again, we're gonna have to
Tuna, if you had mentioned a while ago that you were thinking of doing July 4th stuff. If you do, I gotta bring the PSVR 2 over, strap you in, because the moment you play this mini golf game, you're gonna be like, "Mommy, can I have this for Christmas?"
Oh my god!
Is your mom going to be there for the July 4th celebration?
No, she's not going to be here for the July 4th celebration.
Palm City for that birthday. Get you a PSVR 2.
Yeah, cool stuff. Cool stuff. But how's everyone's Zelda adventure going?
Yeah, I'd like to know where Alex is.
I've made some progress because work slowed down a little bit. So I'm 3 upheavals down.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, great. Cool. We can talk about stuff.
I'm at I saved Zora for last because I wanted.
Fuck, that's the only other one I've done other than Rito.
I saved Zora for last as well.
So I saved Zora for last. No, I really like the game a lot. I mean, in terms of, I guess, like, what do people want to hear? Like criticisms? Like, I really only have 2 criticisms of the game so far.
Well, I want to talk about some game stuff, but why don't you say those first?
All right. So my 2 criticisms are: number 1 is the way that you use the special abilities. I think is incredibly stupid unless I'm doing it wrong.
No, and it will only get worse the more characters you have there. So like when you get your 4th character, it's
incredibly stupid.
You're talking about the ones from that you get from the avatars? Yes. Yeah.
It is. I mean, I have 3, and I'm like, wait, I hit. Wait, what? Hey, come here. No, don't go over there. Come here. Let me press A. Come on, you fuck.
The one I want is never the one that's next to me either.
Yeah, to give Dan some context, because he's not playing, when you unlock all of the dungeons, basically, you have a companion that assists you when you tackle the dungeon, and afterwards their avatar, like their spirit form, will accompany you on your journey. But they're just kind of like
bumbling
around the world.
But
they all have special abilities that you need at different points, and the way that you have to activate the special abilities is go up to them like they're an NPC that you want to have a chat with. Press A to talk to them, and then they give you the ability. But these abilities are meant to be done like in the heat of battle.
Yeah.
And so
I'm like
So
trying
you're,
to
like,
fight
running
someone. I'm
around
trying to turn
looking-
around and like, where the fuck is
Yeah.
this guy?
So,
Run over to him.
yeah.
So this sounds
you're-
like if you were in the middle of like a war zone and people are firing back and forth at each other, and you turned around, you're like, "I'll have a gun, please."
Yeah,
Just standing there.
really, yeah. Like,
What's
I
even
need to
worse
get
is it's
ammunition, I
not
just
even
go
like
run
you can
over there.
totally use it. Like they're still the ones that are doing it. So it's like it'd be
I
like
know,
if
but for a
the
game
three
that,
of
like-
us were all had
Yeah.
like a magical power and you had to come
Mhm.
and tag us to use it every time you wanted it. You'd be like, Alex, I want yours now. Fuck,
Yeah.
Chris, where the fuck is why is Chris
Right,
all the
and
way over
I'm-
there?
Right, and I'm not paying attention to you. I'm over there reading a book in the corner, and
Yeah.
I'm just like, "Oh, you need me? Oh, all right, hold on." I'll be right over.
But Tom's standing right in front of you, so you
Yeah.
keep trying to
He's
get to Alex, but you're
blocking.
hitting Tom over and over.
Right, or you're trying to pick up something, but you can't. You actually hit the thing for the avatar anyway, and you just
the
like,
number
what the
of
fuck?
times I've done
For
that.
a game that has all these menus and has like, oh, we're gonna
Right.
pause the game while you pick a weapon. We're gonna pause the game while you switch
It
out
should
your shit.
work the exact
Like,
same way as
it should work
the circle. Like
It should work the exact, like, okay, do a different circle.
Yeah.
Like the other trigger
Yes.
gives you another circle. It is so stupid. All right, that's number one.
Best game ever.
Number two,
I mean,
number two
honestly, it
is
might be the
the-
best video game I've ever played.
yeah. So
Yeah.
number two is the number two is the sense, is the lack of the sense of exploration, discovery. That, like, I know where shit is.
I
Like, I
know.
know where the
Yeah.
map. I generally in my mind remembered where things were. I know where
Yeah.
there's not, like, I don't stumble upon something and go, whoa, like this is really cool.
Well,
Like
the depths is where that will happen.
Yeah,
but
I
we don't
know,
like
but even in the depths, even in the
I
depths,
don't know.
depths is-
There's been a ton of times in the overworld.
No, there
that I've
isn't.
Stumbled
No,
around the corner.
Tom. No, you're full of shit. So I remember the map. It was, but the map. I
I'm with
know
Alex.
the map. I know the map. Like, I know it in my head.
And I
right?
love the map, so it's
The
okay.
map is fine. The map
Great
is
map.
fine. Okay, and I think there still is. Okay, fine. And this will be a third criticism, but this isn't really a Zelda criticism. This is more an open world criticism. It's the same problem I had with, which was really my only gripe with Valhalla and Odyssey and those types of games.
Yeah.
The pacing for me is just so off.
Yeah.
Because of the fact that I can go and do whatever I want in any order I want. And a lot of times, like, I wish, like, I kind of flew into Zora's domain because I had a lot of like towers open at that point. And I just kind of dropped in.
Yeah.
Right. Like parachute. Whereas I was like, you know what? Like, I remember the first game getting to Zora's domain was kind of like this cool path that I did. And I kind of regret not doing it this time and just following the path up to Zora's domain. Whereas I feel like a game like, I'm just going to use God of War because it's fresh in my mind as well.
Yeah.
A game like that is the linear aspect of it. Like, you're going in that direction. That's the way you're going. And the set pieces are all very nicely presented to you. I just think it's a dig knock towards open world, not necessarily Zelda. But besides what I just said, this and God of War are some of the only games I can think of that I could spend 5 or 6 hours in a play through.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I mean,
Smash.
you've done that with Halo, no problem. And
uh,
Smash.
yeah, but I'm talking like one player game.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not talking like multiplayer.
Yeah,
Forget
yeah.
multiplayer.
Yeah. Fair.
I'm
What the hell's
talking like
multiplayer?
I'm not getting burnt out. Like, I'm not like sitting there going like, all right, I'm done. Like, remember when we played what was that game? Penta something?
Pentiment.
Yeah, Pentiment. Like, after a while I'd be like,
Yeah,
all right,
yeah.
I'm tired.
Yeah.
I don't want to play this
2-3 hours.
anymore.
A lot of
Which is funny because
reading.
I think the game was like 6 to 8 hours.
Yeah, I know. But it was
Felt
like
longer.
It felt longer. You're like in a 45-minute stint, and you're just like, okay, yep, all right, I'm gonna. But with this game, I could just go around and because there's always something to do,
Yeah.
which is the huge plus. That there
Yeah.
is always something to do, and things to do are extremely interesting. So that's my Zelda take.
I think if we had a different map, you would feel. A lot
Oh, if
better
we had
about
a
it,
different
which is-
map, I would be like all over this.
I gotta tell
would
you,
love it.
I am like really torn on what happens next because for
do you mean?
Nintendo to reuse this world again would be like,
No,
kinda
you
nuts.
can't. Come
but
on.
at the same time, I really feel like we're getting a trilogy. I feel like we're getting a third game where they could build on these mechanics one more time. Because if you remember,
Dude, how many times are you going to take pictures of the same shit? How many times are you going to get the same armors?
I know.
How many times are you going to get this? Like, come on.
But they're going to want to build on a lot of the same powers and stuff for the next game. And
so
I think
have him go to a different world like Majora.
I think we're going to get a new area, but I think it's going to be the same Link. And so we'll have a lot of the same enemies and stuff still.
Yeah.
So I think we have one more game that's going to directly follow this, because Nintendo is usually like, we did that style already, we're not going to do it again. But like at the same time, I think if there isn't some of the features of this game, people are going to fucking riot. I think people are going to be really mad because
it's one of those things
Thomas,
where it's just one of those things where I'm playing it and I'm like, do I want another? And granted, like if it's another 6 years away and they're like, here's the third one of these, I'm gonna be like, give it to me, like I want it now. But right now, fresh in my like heart, like I'm like, I don't know if I want to play another one. Like I want something fresh. I want like let's do a great new 2D.
Well, we might get another 2D, but
you gotta do another 2D. You gotta bring that shit back.
Yeah.
But I hope we do get 3D Zeldas that are different.
They said that this is the blueprint going forward.
Yeah, again, I know.
Like
I know.
Breath of the Wild, which like this is it's doing so well. Like what
No,
but,
it makes
but the
too much
question is it like the same Hyrule, the same like is that blueprint, or is it more like, hey, we're gonna do open worlds, we're gonna do like shrines, or maybe we'll have a new concept of shrines.
What if they did something?
Like, it's gonna be like that.
What if they did something where they scrambled it? Like it is the same map, but like everything is higgledy-piggledy in the wrong, and they're like, "Oh, the portal is open up."
I mean, I feel like they had that opportunity with the Sky Islands, but I got to tell you, the thing I'm most disappointed in is how few there are. There should have been like 1 or 2 Sky Islands that were at least as large of an area as the opening one.
Great Sky Island, agreed.
And there should have been more. I honestly think there should be like twice as many Sky Islands as there are.
A lot of them just serve to be a larger set piece for the shrine that they house, right?
Like the Sky Islands are basically the shrines. They're like certain like quest items you have to go up there and do. And have you guys found Sage's Will? I'm assuming you must have. Okay, I felt safe enough asking that question. Have either of you used it on anyone?
Yeah, I've upgraded both Tulin and the Zora.
So
can you only upgrade them once?
I can only upgrade them once.
I upgraded Sage as well. I upgraded Tulin thinking that I was going to be able to get pushed further.
Yeah, it's just because
the attack. It didn't explain it, but it was just
the
attack.
Really?
It's just the attack damage. That's all that. Yeah. So if you have a character that does attack damage with its special, that will get boosted. Its special will get boosted because their damage gets boosted. But yeah, Tulin is not like a bad one to upgrade because of the fact that like he's the only one that has he's like the ranged attacker.
He's the range
he
guy.
Flies
but I thought when I did it, I was like, oh, this is great. I'm gonna be able to go double the distance.
That's what I thought. Or I just thought I'd be able to do it faster. Like instead of every 5 seconds, it'd be like every 3, right? Like that would be amazing if I could just do
I really
it more
convinced myself that it's going farther. I was like, oh, this is great. I'm getting not double, but like another half of what I had before.
Nothing's changed there. So I'm ready to finish the game. As far as like the main story, I've been up to the final, like, it just says like go defeat Ganondorf, like save that, like whatever it says, I'm up to the final obvious mission. There are some incredible story beats that happen that like, and moments leading up to this that you guys haven't gotten to yet. But I've been like checking off everything that I want to do in the game, other than a couple of things that I'm leaving for post game. I'm going to finish all the shrines, which I have 50 left. So I've done 106, I think that means. I've 50 shrines left. I'm going to finish those in the post game. I haven't gone to Eventide, which I know there's at least a shrine there, if not like in the depths or above it, So like there's going to be something amazing there, I'm sure.
Amazing.
Bold. It was such a special place in the first game that I can't imagine they didn't do something cool with it. Especially with being so far away from everything else. And there's going to be something either on the island, above the island, or below the island.
Smoke monster.
Awesome. I mean, that'd be great. That'd be really fucking cool. I finished I have no side adventures. I have no shrine quests. And I have only like 6 or 7 side quests left, but they're all like things that are like, you know, I'm probably not gonna try and finish because
if you've only got 6 though.
Yeah, I've done like 60 of them. Like I've done.
Then why not just do this?
Because these are things that are like,
these are the ones that are like, dude, you got to go here. You
find
go here,
all 80 caves or whatever it is.
Sure,
Find the 60 wells. Like I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna get a like 50 rupees for each one of these I turn in, and like it's not a story thing. Like I don't need to find the other 30 of them or whatever.
When the woman was like,
just thought of something.
if you could tell me where all the wells are, the biggest sigh came out of. I was like, fuck you.
Yeah, I'm not doing
it. I just remembered another thing, not to cut you off, Chris.
Yeah.
But because of the way that this game works with the fusion of the weapons. So 2 things. 1, the Great Fairy requires some of these items that I've been using on my weapons. So I'm like, fuck you, bitch. Second thing is that a lot of these like puzzles don't end with like an amazing weapon or an amazing item. It's like, here's 300 rupees. It's like, oh. Like I was hoping for like an item, and then I thought to myself, well, there isn't going to be an item because
you're making all of
them. You're making all your items, and they're not going to. I mean, they might give you a one-off item that'll break in 20 hits. I like a lot. Some of the puzzles in that way. Like there's one in Gerudo. I won't spoil anything, but there's a puzzle in Gerudo that I was like, that I went through this whole thing to do, and I was like, oh, like
well, there were give me a word description for it.
Just... balls.
Yeah, I knew you were gonna say balls. I actually really like that one though.
I did like it as well, but
I really like that.
Yeah, but the end result was not satisfying to me
at
all.
Yeah,
like going.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I felt like it wasn't even over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just, okay, great.
Well, there was some stuff in that room that you
was stuff in the room, but it's not stuff that's anything unique. It's like, like that's the problem with the system that they have that they've created is like, well, you're not going to get these like one unique. Yeah, right, Tom.
It was just so funny when Chris was like, "Can you give me a 1-word description?"
Balls.
Balls.
What's funny was I was about to be like, "Is it the one with the balls?" But I was like, I don't want to say anything if he doesn't know. I've done all of them there, so I just want to know which one it is.
Right. So I did that whole thing, and it was all like very cool to put it all together, and the way that you, and even the thing before the balls was really cool. Finding those things, all this stuff, and then at the end you're just like, oh, all right.
Here's the thing I'm going to say about this, because you sound like I did. If you remember, like 2 weeks ago, I sent a message. It might have even been a week ago. I was like, guys, I'm really fucking hating all this bullshit, like with the Great Fairy and like the amount of grind there is and like all these fucking materials. I hit that hump twice. Hit it once early with like Zonite stuff, which then as I started progressing in the story was unlocking things that made getting Zonite a lot easier.
Yeah.
So then I kind of got past that. Now I'm at 8+ batteries. Like,
nice.
That part of it is done for me.
I don't use Zonite really like at all.
I use it all the time. I'm Mr. Zonite over here.
I don't find myself using
it. Tuna, do you know how to use it with the auto building?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're not just creating. Okay, interesting.
No, you know what it is? I either call my horse or I go to a tower.
I'm
almost never using my horse.
Dude, I get the horse, I put it in the stable, and I never see it again. I got Ganondorf's horse being like, I'm gonna ride this motherfucker all the time. Why would I ever ride the horse? It's such an impractical way to get around.
All right, can I just
leave it somewhere? You
all right, fine.
I like that Alex is riding the horse. Someone's got to do it.
Hold on,
I'll ride the horse. But
this sounds like a conversation from like 19.
Right. But most of the time, I am just going to
take your car. Why are you still using a horse?
I like my horse. It's a fun way to get around.
Yeah. Most of the time, I'm going to a tower, going in the sky, and flying to where I need to go because my stamina is maxed. So I'm just flying where I gotta go.
Do you do tower or do you do? Because I usually just try to go to the closest sky island and dive down.
Well, it depends.
Just because they're usually higher, but I guess it depends.
It depends. Anyway, so that's it. So we'll see as we progress. It is a great game. It is a lot of fun. Everything, most of what I do in that game is fun. I'm just saying there are just a couple things that, you would think
Have
Well,
you done
So
the
what
glyphs?
here's what you should
I've
know.
done all of them, yeah.
Okay, so you did all the glyphs.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah, it is
The
cool.
second hump that I
Although-
ran into was with
Yeah.
the armor, like you were saying, with the materials.
The material, yeah.
That also became a lot easier after I started doing, like, once I finished all of the main quests. Like, basically, like, everything you do in the main quest is going to continue to unlock new abilities. So there's still a few abilities you guys don't have that have also made it easier. And every time you finish one of those regional things and you, like, then start doing the quests in that area, they'll unlock stores like the Goron City. Have you done the Goron one, Tom?
No, I'm literally like, there's a ton of shit around
Sure,
there. And I end up doing the
that's fine.
labyrinths. I'm there though. I'm there.
I mean, I think that is like the coolest looking temple in the game. The Goron one. I think it was like the lead up to it too. It was like really fucking cool. But like the Goron place, you can just buy diamonds.
Yeah.
So like you can just go and buy them now. So like suddenly this resource. So the only real resource I feel like I'm constantly squeezed for now on is money. Because now any other thing I can either like buy or get pretty easily. So I've actually upgraded my main outfit to level 4. And I have one other I want to get all the way up to. But I'm missing 3 Sage's Will. But I'm pretty sure I know where each one of them is because I was able to find one and I cannot kill the thing that is protecting it. So I'm like, all right, this is going to be safe for post game. I'm not going to get all of the Sage's Will before I beat Ganondorf because I don't have the materials to, or like the power to do this yet. But yeah, it's like one of the best video games I've ever played in my life.
I mean, look, next game, right? Zelda could
6
get a
years.
letter. Zelda could get a letter from a country that we have not heard about. Okay. And they need a hero. I need a hero in the right.
I started hearing that.
That song plays. That song plays.
Right. That song plays. Cut. Right. And they whisk him away to the other. Wait, no Ganondorf, no Zelda.
Are you sure it's not just Ganondorf comes back and floods Hyrule?
That's what that's what it will be. Right, that'll be the big twist.
That'll be the next game.
Right,
that'll be underwater.
Yeah, yep. Or no, I'm the way they do this, the way they've always done this, right, is that even if we do go to a different place, it's it's going to be Ganondorf behind it.
Well, there've been a lot of
games
about
it's
him.
not.
I know, but in recent years, people, years,
the game that preceded Breath of the Wild was not Ganondorf. In fact, I think the 2 games that preceded Breath of the Wild were not.
The last time we saw
Link
Ganondorf
Between Worlds wasn't.
The last time we saw Ganondorf in human form was Twilight Princess.
Yeah, but wasn't Demise technically?
He is what becomes Ganondorf.
Yeah,
isn't he?
Yeah, but Ganondorf didn't exist.
All right.
Ganondorf is the Gerudo man.
Yeah, I know he is.
And from what it seems like is Demise fuses with Ganondorf to become Ganon.
Well, no, Demise, but Demise's soul gets trapped because remember at the end of the Skyward Sword you have Link, Zelda, and you have that dude that looks like Ganondorf, and they're the 3 ones that get cursed to relive this forever. Which, by the way, like the one thing about this game's story is I think it's great, but it makes no fucking sense. It like disregards like all of the previous canon, and I have no idea where it's supposed to fit in with the story. However, like I just don't care because all of the Zelda stuff is a mess.
I'm struggling to like piece together how it fits into Breath of the Wild's canon.
It's
even I'm like, wait, is this the wall from 10,000? But the Sheik, like, where have the Zonai been? Where's that? Like, what? Yeah, it's cool though.
Makes no sense
on its own merits. It's fucking sick.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I agree. It's a great game. I'm ready to finish it, and then after that, I like next week will probably be the last thing I really have to say about it because I'll probably be done with it. And after that, like every now and then, I'm just gonna start playing. I'm not gonna jump back into Jedi right away because I need to like. I'm probably just gonna do like VR for a while.
Take a breather, baby.
I do want to play a game that I saw Dan was playing that I'd want him to tell me about called Route 96 because I looked at that and it looked cool.
I will say, I called it Route 96 9,000 times. It's Road 96.
Oh, it's Road 96? Oh, really?
I did the same thing. Like it feels like in my head it should be route, but yeah, it's cool as hell. I'm enjoying the hell of it. To not spoil too much, because I think you guys should play. It's on Game Pass, so it's definitely available for everyone to play.
Yeah.
There's actually a prequel to it also now. Basically in this country of Petria that is fake, that is totally not anything like anywhere you can think of. There's like an oppressive dictator. The year is 1996, which is not why it's called Road 96. It's actually a Road 96 as well. Just a weird little coincidence. 10 years before, there was a giant like accident, and everyone blamed it on terrorists pretty much. And so the president keeps using that as like fuel to get people to vote for him. And there's like a giant like unrest among the citizens, and the teens are trying to run away because if they get captured, they get sent to the pits, which are like a work camp, I guess. So you play as the teens in like a story-driven mode type thing with little like mini game stuff involved. Trying to either escape or you can help the Tyrak is the name of the dictator. You can help Tyrak, or you could do stuff to help the resistance. So you kind of get to like a choose your own adventure type game. And I've been trying to like escape most of the time. But you also like run into these same characters over and over again as different teenagers.
And
So
you like
you
hard
play
fail
one at a time. What's up?
Can you hard fail? Like, can you get
Yeah,
an
no, I
ending
have.
where it's and you have to like start over, or is it let you go back a chapter?
There's I don't know how many chapters. I did 6 chapters so far.
Yeah.
There's more. I'm probably like 2/3 of the way through the game or so. And so like my first character, I made the wrong decisions and got sent to jail. And it was like quick, like, nope, that character's gone. Try again, next character. And so like you kind of just keep trying different things, or like and it's all like different storylines and stuff. They're intersecting. It's really kind of cool. I think you guys should check it out. I don't want to give too much away, but there's a lot of like you learn skills as one character. You'll keep it through the rest of the game, even though that character's dead. Or like it doesn't matter. Like you learn the skill. Like picking locks, for example, is one thing I think my first character learned, and then died, and I still had the skill for the rest of the game.
Oh, okay.
That's all the other characters.
That does sound really cool.
Yeah, and there's like a bunch of weird little mini storylines that you can either dip into or just completely ignore as the game goes. So I recommend it. It's fun. I'm gonna play it tomorrow to try to finish it off on stream. But everyone who tries to listen to this won't be able to do it because it's coming out Friday. So.
Right.
Oh, it looks like it's only like 7.5 hours long too. Yeah, this seems like something I want to play after
longer
Zelda.
Than that for sure, though. If you're just like speed running it, you could like going just like I just want to finish this game as quickly as possible and never explore anything. You could probably do it in less, but so far I've played I think like 6 or 7 hours, and I'm not done. It's probably like a 10-hour game, I'd say.
Wow. That's still pretty. That's nice.
Pretty
that's
short.
Concise.
Yeah, nice distance. Yeah, and then there's a prequel that's I guess the precursor to this world that came out called Road Zero. So if you see or Mile Zero. So if you see Road 96 Mile Zero, that's the prequel.
Gotcha.
Well, I mean, even then, like 10 hours is. It says.
No, I mean, it's
my Switch says I put 170 hours into Zelda. I don't
mean,
think that's entirely accurate, but it might be very close.
If you play this game as much as you play Zelda, you have definitely played it more than once.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm excited though. I'm excited to finish Zelda. I want to see the end of the story, and I know I'm gonna be disappointed that like it'll let me finish the story, but I won't actually finish the story. I think they need a new. I think they need a new answer for that. I think they need a new answer that's like
they do.
Hey, the blood moons are just like a natural occurring phenomenon, so they're just gonna keep happening. But like, if you want to like go through this portal and like go back in time and finish that fight, you can do it again. But like Zelda's safe now, and like the game's over.
Yeah,
like
game's over.
I have a question for Tuna about you brought up God of War, and one of the things you're thinking of when you're playing Ragnarok is like. Is Kratos going to die or whatever? But then, like, you start thinking, like, well, you can't kill him because you have to have a post game. Like, you have to be able to play this game afterwards. And I started thinking about all these games where they have this shit where it's like, the game has to continue, but like because then like Last of Us, like the game's over. So
Right.
like any of the characters can die, and you can kill them off, and
so the Great Fairy can't be like, I need
annoying.
another 20 Horoblin claws for you to get level 4. Sorry, Horoblins don't exist anymore.
Yeah,
right.
So you're gonna have to ask for something else, Great Fairy, because I can't do that.
Yeah,
I can get you bugs, I can get you food. That's it.
Yeah,
one of the, obviously there's a lot of fun to be making in Cyberpunk, but they don't even try in that game. When you finish it, it literally is it's like, oh, you beat the game. Now we're just going to put you, like, the world and story is like right before you go to do the final
That's what
thing.
Zelda is.
That's what Zelda is.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, because you
always
can't
been
actually
like that.
finish that mission. It'll just always be there.
Zelda's always Ocarina of
so
Time was
much.
like that. You beat Ocarina of Time. There was no like save or anything like that, and the game was over.
And they didn't even patch it in with DLC. Breath of the Wild.
Right.
Like they could have.
Yeah.
Because like they added the new like thing you go to, but like no, it's like no, this still all happens before. Yeah. And like that's the thing I'm also worried about, because I'm like, we're gonna get DLC for this game for sure.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get like a bike, like we did it the last time, and they'll just take it away from us for some reason. But it's like they're gonna give us DLC. Is it gonna be a story DLC? Will there be like a whole new temple? If there is that canonically taking place before the final mission? Like, what does that look like?
Just get rid of it.
They clearly don't care about any of that.
No, they
shit.
don't.
Yeah.
It's
too bad, because it's the best story in a Zelda game other than Ocarina.
It's been good.
It's really cool. It's really cool.
Good.
You guys haven't even seen like,
I know,
one of the best bits.
All right.
I'm not. That's all I'm saying.
I know, but I don't want to get too amped.
Yeah.
Just let me get amped my own.
Speaking of amped, before we get to news, I have been playing Diablo 4 with Brooke. Because you can do, funnily enough, you can do split screen on console, but because of the way that Battle.net works on PC, you cannot play it split screen on PC.
Are you guys, is it crossplay?
It is crossplay, but we're playing on the same system.
No, but I'm saying like if I got it on,
or if I got it.
Yeah.
Or if you got it, it's crossplay. I mean, we're playing on Xbox.
Is it like really good? Is it?
I'm enjoying I'm enjoying the hell out of it. To steal a Diablo pun.
Everyone compares it to 2. That's the thing I keep hearing, is that
it's very
a lot.
It's very dark and dreary, like 2 was. Not a game that I've played, but from what I've seen of it, it's way less colorful than 3, and the story is, I think, meant to be a bit darker. The thing that I've been enjoying about it most is like, Brooke and I have only ever been able to play either like multiplayer games like Smash, or it's been like Sackboy Big Adventure. This is like,
sorry, no, I'll just pig in my own brain.
Well, this is just like the first game that we've been able to jump into where it's like a story-driven, deep systems, RPG that we've been able to play together, and she's been loving it. And there's still elements to this shit that I'm really put off by, with like just so much text and boxes for like so many UI elements, and it can get overwhelming at times. But I think the game does a good job of parsing. Like when you get a new piece of armor, it shows the number is green, so it's better than the shit that you have. So stick it here, and but the thing of like, we will get rid of all of our equipment, and then after 10 minutes, it's like, you don't have any more room. Like, you need to offload this shit. So there's things like that, but the design of the world, it looks so fucking good on the consoles. It really does look like you're looking at a diorama, and as someone that enjoys minifigs and all that is like the highlight for me. And
whereas Link is holding a house worth of things on him, apparently.
Yes. Yeah, he's got all that up his ass. It is crazy
500
that
bright bloom
seeds. Exactly, just hanging off his thing. And then the other thing that's cool, and it is a bit like Breath of the Wild, where you can kind of tackle. There is apparently they were originally going to have a kind of, you are dropped in the world, go do anything. but there is like an actual prologue. But once you get to the first main area, it allows you to tackle the story in kind of any order. You can start, there are 5 acts, and you can start any of the first 3 that you want, and everything is scaling up. And that is something that is very impressive, is the scaling that they do. Like, if you guys were going to pick it up and play with my level 20 character, I think I have level 20, the way that the game scales the difficulties is like really impressive. Like, I've never seen a game do this, where everyone is somehow fighting appropriately leveled monsters and stuff like that. And so I would be curious to play with you guys how that experience goes. But it is that thing of it. We're playing it very much like Tears of the Kingdom, where we'll get to a new area and this dungeon looks cool. Let's go do that, and we'll do that dungeon and come back to town. And there's a side quest here. Let's quickly do that. Obviously not as chillax as Zelda, but it has those vibes. So it might not be something you want to get stuck into right after playing Zelda, but definitely one to pick up. Maybe once this acquisition goes through and it goes on Game Pass. There you go. Cool game, baby. Cool game.
Cool.
Tom, there's a game on PSVR 2 you should try with Brooke. It's called Seeker My Shadow. It's a co-op. It's a local co-op game. One person is in the headset, and then the other person plays with a DualShock and looks at the TV.
Okay.
And it's kind of like Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, where you need to like get around these like diorama sets, and the person that's in the VR thing is like moving things around and like holding up bridges, or like you're making it so that the person controlling the character with the DualShock can like get around the obstacles and stuff.
Oh, okay. Oh, so it's kind of like Moss, but they've split the controls between someone's controlling the world and then someone's controlling. That's cool.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Fuck. Seeker My Shadow.
Yeah. It looks very like friendly, like it's like a family, like game. But
you haven't played it?
No, not yet. I need to.
Okay.
Because like I haven't played it because I moved the VR into the garage. But once it does start getting hot here, I'm gonna move it upstairs, and then obviously I'll be able to start playing it. Once Alex gets back, we'll do some news. Actually, let's just start the news. Let's do that.
Do the news.
Summer Games Fest is here. We've got the Xbox conference next week. They better have some games. They bought like 20 studios over the last 5 years. Where are all the games?
Games are overrated. No one wants games now.
They want microtransactions and services.
Tom, what's happening with the news?
I mean, honestly, the thing is this episode is going to go out after Summer Games Fest. So to let anyone know that's listening, if you're listening,
it's only the first day of it,
right? But the conference will have happened. The conference.
Oh, there aren't other announcements that are happening.
There'll be Xbox on Sunday. Ubisoft is Monday. But the Summer Game Fest Jeff Keighley conference will have happened. It has not happened yet. So this has actually been a pretty light week. Honestly, I would say the only real big piece of news this week, and it's not even gaming, it's kind of, but like we finally saw the Apple VR AR headset. Tom.
Yes.
Has Tuna and Dan seen anything with this fucking thing?
Dan saw how expensive
the Vision
it was.
Pro.
I mean, I saw that Tim Cook didn't fucking touch it.
The trailer is like a fucking dystopian Black Mirror episode of
but it's sick. It does look like exactly like one of the devices out of Black Mirror, the way that you use it.
Yes.
Yeah, and the way they're dressed in the thing, like they're in the apartments they apparently live in, like it's very like Black Mirror. It's like they took an episode of Black Mirror, which is like, fuck it, we're just gonna make it real.
I mean, yeah, that's basically what it is. I think it's fucking sick though.
Yeah, it looked cool. Plug me in, but
Plug me in. Plug me in. Look cool. Plug me in.
You can ask your mom to buy you one.
Put that.
What's
hey,
funny
Tim,
is
slap that on the box. Look cool. Plug me in.
Look cool. Plug me in.
Tuna
I mean, what I love about it too was like they like didn't really address the fact that there's that huge cord coming out the back until like the very end of the video. So the whole time you're kind of just seeing it and you're just like, that cord's interesting. And then they finally at the end they're like, oh, this is a sleek battery that you got to put in your pocket to use it. And I'm thinking to myself,
for
like
2 hours.
Yeah, for 2 exactly.
Well, yeah, but if you're stationary longer than that, you just plug it in. You can just plug it in locally. You don't need to.
Yeah,
Glade.
Yeah, but again, like I just don't see yet.
Yeah.
The practical application for this outside of a novelty fun time. Like I'm not going to sit on the couch and watch a movie in the VR like next to Brit and have her not watch the same movies. Like it just doesn't, I don't know. It's, and like I get the UI. I just feel like I don't know. Look, I mean, I thought the Apple Watch was stupid, and look where it is now. So, I guess that remains to be seen. But I guess
this is meant to basically replace the computer for people in the future. That's the thing. It's like this is basically them being like, hey, this is what the future of computing we think is going to be. But like, it's really expensive, and this is like the lowest tech version of what needs to be there for that to work. So it's going to take them a while, like to get that price down and to get the technology even better. But I don't think they can do either of those things until they're actually already making it. It's like you can't have the software built for these things until the thing actually exists. But I don't think it makes any sense for like consumers to buy it for probably like 3 to 5 years for most people.
I don't think it makes sense for consumers to buy it as is if it's going to be a similar price point. Like it has to be 1,000 or less before it actually becomes a consumer product.
No. Because if it's meant to replace your computer, it's like right now it is the same price point. Well, hold on. It is the same price point right now, basically, as like the MacBook Pro, like the high-end MacBook Pros. So it just basically needs to get down to a mid-range MacBook Pro price, like realistically, for what they want this to be. It just needs to get down to $2,000.
Okay, hold on. So replace your computer? Like, are we sure it's not supposed to replace your like most of the things that your phone does? Like that's the way I saw this. No, I didn't really see this as replacing your computer.
No, they call it spatial computing.
But how are you typing? I don't understand.
So you can use there's an on-screen keyboard you can dictate, but also you can use a keyboard and a mouse and a trackpad. Magic keyboard, magic mouse, magic trackpad all work with it. So all you would need though is a desk.
Wait, you can use a mouse?
Yes. My Magic Trackpad keyboard and they work with it. They didn't demo it, but the hands-on from CNET and a couple other places said that they connect to the Magic Trackpad.
You could, in theory.
So no one got to demo it, but they said that they will work with the app. So most likely, because of the eye tracking, your eyes already tell the apps which applications you're using. So then instead of using touch, my guess is if you have a mouse, when you're looking at an application, the cursor would be on whatever application you're
What if you have a lazy eye?
I mean, then you're probably going to have trouble with all VR, and you're just going to buy a 2D computer.
So I'm going to sound archaic, but I still think there's something in the physical realm. Like as much as the Kindle and the iPad and everything like did screw around with books, people still like to hold and read real books.
I'm holding one right now.
Yeah, I know. So I
didn't see.
I meant to mention this.
See that reveal coming.
I meant to mention this book I just got.
And he's just been holding it the entire episode.
Well, it's been right in front of me, and then I just
been holding it. I don't know. Like it looked awesome. Like look,
but for your computer, what do you need to think?
Will I want to watch a movie in this thing? Definitely. Like I will want to watch a movie in this thing. I already tried once to watch YouTube on my Oculus before it got lost, and it didn't look great. But like this looks like it will look good, so I'm like, all right.
The difference in the screen resolution on this and your Oculus is night and day. It's like the old original iPhones and the current ones. It's very, very different screen resolution.
Yeah.
But it's meant to replace your computer. That's the thing.
I will be very interested to see this thing move out of the realm of novelty. and move into the real everyday.
And that's the thing with me is like it's one of those things where you can see like once it does move from, because even with Oculus, which has been successful, especially comparative to the rest of the VR world, it's still an incredibly niche product. But you can see, especially with what this thing is doing, like if someone can crack this nut and like make it like the perfect blend of affordable and impressive, and
but that's why it's so expensive, because this is all the tech you need for it to like operate the way that, like, I think for an AR headset to actually do what they want it to do, like for people to care, it probably needs every single fucking feature this has, which is why from a technical standpoint, it's far and above like no other AR headset comes anywhere near this thing.
And it needs to be downsized.
It does.
You want
this
thing mainstreamed, it needs.
Yeah, and that's part of why the battery's not on it, because that's just that added weight is going to be so much more. Also, you don't want the risk of like, you know, because batteries fail. Like some percent of all batteries are going to fail. You don't want it exploding on your head.
Yeah, you want it exploding closer to your dick.
Well, yeah, like
you do probably want it on your waist and not your face.
You probably but for it to be like, you know, I'll never forget this. So I remember when I worked at the Apple Store. Like one of the managers was like, you know, you're a successful company when you see everybody on the subway wearing the white headphones, right? Like that. I was like, where'd you get that from? Fucking Steve Jobs. So anyway, I feel like the only way that this, like, you need it to be like every other person you see would need to be wearing these things. Not just from, I'm just saying, like, for
you're not meant to be walking around wearing these things.
I think you are eventually.
No,
though.
you're not.
You don't think eventually the idea is that you will be?
No, because the idea with
30, 40 years?
The idea with but then we're probably talking about something very different. Something that's much smaller. It could just interface with your brain directly. It could be like a contact.
Yeah, Neuralink. Elon's.
You just said 30 to 40 years. 20 years ago, the iPhone didn't exist.
Years. Yeah, that's true.
15 years ago, the iPhone just came out.
I said,
but the difference is,
hang on a second. Whoa.
It's true.
Hang on a second.
Okay, Tom,
what?
I brought up on a podcast a long time ago that in 100 years, we're all going to have chips in our brain, and everyone poo-pooed that.
Because we're all going to be dead in 100 years. We're not going to have anything in our brain. We're going to have dirt in our brain.
I don't know what you're talking about. You're talking out of your ass.
Now, I don't know if we're going to have like a Neuralink, but the difference between what that tech will look like in 40 years versus today is, you know, they want this to replace the way the iPhone, when Steve Jobs was like, the iPhone, it's your PDA, it's your calculator, it's your camera, it's your cell phone and your iPod, and you just have to carry one thing. This is like, it's your laptop, but it's also like your desktop PC and the like 4 monitors that you have for it. And it has all your messages, and it has your camera, and it
4 monitors.
But a lot of people do, Tom. Dan, a lot of people have multiple monitors. A lot of people have multiple monitors. A lot of people use it.
Yeah.
A ton of people do. And guess what? The people that don't, they would like multiple monitors. And also from a just like material standpoint, it would be a lot better, period, like if this is where computers move, because just from a material standpoint, not having a whole like computer, laptop, screens, all that stuff. If you just had your desk with the keyboard, the mouse, and this, you have one thing that you have to buy. And now you have like super high resolution screens at whatever size you want them, however many, like that's what the idea is. It's going to take a while before that happens. But I don't think, like, if you compare it to like the HoloLens and shit like that stuff was too early.
Look,
like,
man, if I had $3,000+ to burn on this product, I might dabble.
I'd still wait for the next. I'd still wait for the next one. I'd still wait for
if I had it to burn,
set some money on fire.
If I had that money to burn, if I was like a millionaire and I was just like, yeah, fuck it, buy it. I'll buy the next one too. Like,
okay, that's fair.
100%.
Yeah, that's fair. If I had a million G's,
that's what it's for right now.
But wait, how long is the battery life?
2 hours on the battery.
So you can't even watch Lord of the Rings.
But if you're sitting stationary to watch Lord of the Rings, just plug it into an outlet.
No, Tuna wants to watch Lord of the Rings on the treadmill.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, there will be, I'm certain there will be bigger battery packs, like third party, that people will make, or you'll be able to. They need to make them just hot swap with like, MagSafe. Just let me just quick swap them.
Just put on your battery shorts.
They will probably they will probably sell you an additional thing. Although
you'll be able to buy extra batteries.
I don't know if you'll be able to hot swap them. If it had like a very small battery in the headset that like gave you like a minute or two of charge.
I know, yeah, that's
something like that.
That would be sick.
Then in theory, it would last all day because you could like charge one, and just keep swapping them out that way. Yeah, it's cool. I'm really curious as to the trajectory of this. Can this be? I know that like they're probably not planning on selling a ton of these first gen ones, but like, will they even hit like their lowest? Like, I'm just so.
The rumors were like they were expecting like 200,000 sold.
Yeah, I think they could hit that.
I think they'll hit that as well.
But
because millions of people buy $3,000 MacBooks every day.
Sure. You know? And it can replace. I'm curious. I'm just very, very curious.
But I'm sure the one that's for us, because the thing is, they called it the Vision Pro, and it's the first one. So for us, whenever the sequels or whatever come out, they'll probably come out with just the Vision or the Vision Go or something
lighter version,
cheaper. Yeah,
Vision Air.
And it won't be made of. It probably won't have like the aluminum body. It'll probably
the
be
Vision
plastic.
Mini if you've got a tiny face.
Yeah. Strap it to your kid.
The eyes on the front with the ski goggles, people like to make fun of it. Honestly, I was so ready to make fun of it. I think it looks so much better than I ever could have imagined. I really thought it was going to be like giant, like fucking odd, like it would look weird,
googly eyes.
But the way they just made it inset and like shadowed, so like it looks like you're wearing ski goggles, I couldn't believe that worked. That might have blown me away more than anything. We'll
see how all of this works in the real world.
The hands-on that have been coming out are surprisingly positive so far about all of it. So.
I think all the headlines is like, I was totally ready to make fun of this thing, and then I used it.
Yep. And why doesn't Tim Cook wear it? It's because he doesn't want to be a meme. Because if you go watch those like Facebook videos with Oculus, there's a reason that they want to wear it, because they're going to just be turned into like stupid memes. So it's just easier to not do that in front of people.
One man's stupid meme is a huge success picture down the road.
I mean, so far, a lot of people would not call Oculus a huge success because Meta's basically like their VR AR company has lost them almost $14 billion. And everyone's,
you know what?
Everyone's really mad that Mark Zuckerberg owns the majority of the company, because basically you can't stop him is sort of the problem. People are like,
he's a fucking terrible person. We know that.
Yeah. Well, I'm,
that's
billionaires. They're all bad. All right. Question. Tuna, do you want me to play your voicemail, or do you want to tell us what you said?
I forgot what I said, so you might as well play it.
805-738-8692. That's 805-738-8692 if you want to leave a voicemail. Thanks for calling in, everybody.
Follow up to last week's voicemail. Number one, Costco. Let's get back to Costco, okay? I don't know what it is about Costco, but your whole family doesn't need to come to this trip to Costco. It's like 6 people to a cart. We should have a rule that it's like maximum 3 people per cart. I get it, maybe little kids. You have little kids. You don't need like your college age kids coming. You're in your 20s age people coming. You don't need the whole grandma coming. You don't need the whole family taking up the aisle with the cart. All right, that's number one. Number two, Tom asked what is going on in the Tears for Fears of the Kingdom soundtrack. Tears for Fears of the Kingdom doesn't really have a good, well, it's got good music, but the soundtrack isn't really comprehensive. So it's really Tears for Fears and other 80s music. And then lastly,
what am I talking about?
The idea that we used to have to do our other
stop doing edibles and then walking to Costco.
Slideshow, I think, is a great idea. Okay, suck it. Bye.
I mean, I agree with the premise, but something tells me that you're going to be an adult, like more of an adult than you are.
I was going to say,
more of an adult than you are.
Now?
You're going to be fine. You're going to be in your late 50s, and you're going to be walking, your kid, or possibly within kids,
walking my kid,
and you're going to be with them, and they're going to be like late high school or early college age, and you're going to be taking them to Costco, and you're going to have the whole wagon's gonna be there. It's gonna be you, the wife. You're gonna have the kids.
No. I'll take my own advice. It'll just be me and the kid.
What was the situation, by the way, which you complained about? Do you remember this particular?
Yeah, I remember the situation perfectly. The Costco carts are already like a cart and a half in width.
Yeah.
So, and
it's
the
nice
aisles
though.
themselves,
You need it.
Yeah, you need it. Of course, you need it because there's no way you're fitting the industrial toilet paper and paper towel in the water.
Yes.
So the problem, and then the Costco aisles are pretty big, but everybody's at this fucking Costco. And I went down the aisle, and I'm not the mom.
Why do you keep going on the weekends?
Because that's when he can go.
When can I go? Come on. All right, so we got the mom, the dad, the grandma, the kid.
Oh
the
yeah,
adult,
when your grandma's there.
The adult, the young adult that's probably in high school, the sister that's definitely in college.
But they were all behind the cart?
They're all just swarmed. They're like a swarm of people around this fucking cart. And you're trying to get through. And then for some reason, everybody in Costco is a fucking asshole. Nobody says, excuse me.
Oh, that's
Nobody says, oh, I'm
rules
sorry.
are out the window at Costco. It's anarchy.
They will just come out of the aisle. They will come out of the aisle. They don't give a shit. No one says like, oh, right. None of this to the right, no one does anything. No right of way. No one is the Costco. You want to see the worst people in the world? Go to Costco. You want to see what's wrong with society?
Do you have the Costco gas station at yours?
No.
Dude, if you think the lines at Costco are bad, you should see the Costco gas station where you're going to save like 10 or 15 cents or something.
It is.
The Costco gas station lines, it's like you're going to wait in line for an hour to get gas.
Right. And you know what's funny? You drove the extra couple miles to get there. That's your 10 cents right there.
And your car like idled long, like for the whole thing, just waiting.
That's your 10 cent savings.
It's
you
so
fucking
crazy.
idiot.
The Costco
you fucking moron. And then nobody. Oh my god! There's literally
if you listen to the podcast and you fill up your car at Costco gas stations, make sure you write to us either in the Discord or call in and tell us that we're wrong.
Well, okay. You know how you see like when you're driving, sometimes people are like, oh my god, how is there traffic? Like, who is at the front of this line? At Costco, the same thing occurs in this one section of the Costco I go to. There is a traffic jam.
Yeah,
it is it is where the produce.
We talked about this last week. Or
we talked about it every week.
It is unbelievable. It is the pro. It's
just
where the
like
produce.
Go for the farthest. Don't try and.
That's what I do, man. But there's a certain section you cannot avoid. Everyone is there. The produce.
So you go
the
alone.
Waters. The what?
You're going alone always.
Always put the headphones in.
This is where being there with T is great because I'll be like, I'm staying here with the cart. You go and get stuff and bring it back, or vice versa. So when we get to those crowded areas, it's like I can do a couple quick runs without the cart.
But Chris, imagine what you could do if you had a whole family.
Hold on,
that's true. Spread out.
But this family didn't. This family all stayed. They like there's 7 people at this. Like you all could be doing things.
See, this is what you can do when you bring the family. Yeah, you do the blueprints of the Costco. Be like, okay, you're in charge of this, this, and this. You're in charge of this. Meet at the front in 10 minutes. Let's go.
I'd appreciate that efficiency.
Yeah, that would be sick.
No, it's a bunch of fucking. You know what it is? It's dad. It's mom and dad who have the money, and everybody else just freeloading off of them.
Yeah.
So then, okay, but the problem is the location of this traffic jam is because it's where the toilet paper, the paper towel, the produce, the waters, and the frozen is all right there. Yeah. It is all right there. You cannot avoid it. It is an unavoidable section. It is the worst part. People are fucking idiots.
So it's more of a Costco problem. If they
it's also everyone starts on the left or the right and goes straight back, which means that you're meeting at the produce. So you also have everyone coming from the sides and then crossing at the busiest part.
Wait. And then the worst, then the second or third traffic jam is the one that you're trying to you've already paid and you're trying to just leave, but you have the people checking your receipts. It's like, dude, you already had an employee checking. I'm sorry. You've had your chance. Like, if I'm out of here with your shit, I'm out of here with your shit. Sorry.
Now, I don't know if you have this problem at yours, but we also have the added problem of, because in California, you can sell any kind of liquor, wine, beer, etc. in a grocery store. Ours isn't in the separate liquor building that a lot of Costco's have.
No, ours is in the separate liquor building.
So we also, on top of that, in the produce, Alex, is also all of the alcohol for us too.
Fuck that.
It's also, which by the way, that's where we buy our alcohol. We got like an aviation gin thing that was like 2 feet tall. It was fucking, so much. It was so much gin, but it was like the price of 1.5 of the normal ones. It was so good.
I mean, look, Costco's great, but it's also where the worst people in the world come and make their presence known.
When you go to
make their
Costco,
presence
are
known.
you picking up things you know you're getting in advance, or are you just looking around too?
No, I know exactly what I'm getting. I'm going beeline.
Can you order online and just pick up when you get there?
No,
I'm
I don't
pretty
think you
sure
can
you
order.
can, 'cause
I've never seen anybody pick up stuff.
I've
from
never seen anyone
Costco.
do it, but I'm on their website. It seems like you can do it.
I think so. You can pick up stuff at like the front at least.
Well,
but I don't know what kind of stuff.
I'm on the website right now on my phone, and it seems like you just add stuff to your cart and then order it to your warehouse, aka
Yeah, but
store.
here's the problem. If I do that, how are we gonna have any content for 10 minutes of this show?
Yeah, that's a good point. We've actually had the Costco delivery a couple times because like we were like, we don't have any time to go there soon. So we just
we might do that for the next Costco run because we need a bunch of waters and I'm not lifting those waters and it's annoying.
It was like funny the last time we did it for like also like toilet paper and like paper towels and like we did water and stuff. They also have a really good multi-pack, like a 30-pack of Spindrift, so that's like 3 or 4
well I buy the S Pellegrino now.
The Pellegrino, okay.
Yeah, he's out on spin.
I'm out on spins. I'm in on the Pels.
He wants the PFAS. He wants the forever chemicals.
Listen, you know it's funny, I actually go alone to Costco because I don't want Britt bringing me down. Like I need to, I'm going. Let's go. I like keep it moving. All right, that's it.
All right, let's do from the Discord.
Jesus Christ, you haven't even got to...
I mean, we didn't get very far. We did one
the call-in was already someone on this show.
Yeah. I can't
Just
read the name.
Rambled about Tears for Fears.
Oh, it's Boss Nasty. What's your top snack when feeling down? Could be any kind of munchies like sweets, chocolate, or even a full-on meal. What do you usually grab when you've had a rough day? Pretend there's no such thing as calories, so you can chow down with zero guilt.
Mine is very easy because when I am stressed or depressed or upset, I don't eat. So I actually hate eating when I'm depressed.
So no
or
comfort
anything.
Food.
There is no comfort. I mean, there is, but like there's comfort food in the sense that like I love meatballs.
Yeah,
but there is no comfort food for me.
But then let's make it less.
Can we go back
extreme? You're just like having a bad day. Let's say you're just having not a great day. You're like,
the idea. Like,
there's no food that picks you up. There's no
candy or meatballs.
No, because you know what it is. Whenever I'm upset or depressed or anxious or anything, my appetite is gone. I literally do not want to eat anything. So I can't answer this question. I'm sorry. I abstain.
I really I want in your house to just be a bag of meatballs for when
I was like, because we talk about like snacks, and it like goes in the cupboard and like opens up a bag of meatballs and just starts putting them down.
It wouldn't just be meatballs; it would have to be spaghetti meatballs too.
Yeah,
like he's got to have some pasta with
some
that.
sauce.
He just said meatballs. He didn't say.
I did just say meatballs, but you're asking me to come up with things like on the fly.
I mean, I mine's easy. It's ice cream.
Yeah,
like, if I could get ice, like I'll never turn down ice cream. Ice cream's always a good pick me up. That's why I got so fat during the pandemic. It's mostly because of ice cream.
Damn, really interesting.
Oh, dude, I was ordering Salt and Straw like every week. There were days where I'd eat just a whole pint, just like be like, oh, got this pint for today, this pint for tomorrow.
What's my comfort food?
I mean, mine's the Lay's original Ruffles.
Really?
I always have them around. I don't eat them all the time, but like sometimes I'm like, I need them. There we go.
Oh man, I don't know. I do think about it though whenever I'm eating, and I'm like, wow, I just immediately like feel 10% better. Like I feel like 10% happier. Like food is amazing.
100%.
Oh my god, no, I don't feel that at all.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, I've seen you eat.
Yeah, because I like the
lactus just
but I eat because I like it.
Because I like the like taste, I hunger.
But here's the thing with me and eating. Okay.
Yeah.
I am loving it in the moment. Right. I am ravenous. I am eating. I am like, fuck it. Like, this is amazing. The second that meal is over, I don't feel good anymore. I
Well,
feel
of
like
course not.
Why
because
do you
Alex
think
is
that
like
is?
Alex is like he just like finished jerking off and he's like looks at his screen and he's
I
like,
don't
oh,
know,
I don't
it
want to
is.
look at porn.
It is.
Oh,
It's
get this away. That's how Alex is with
stuffing your
food.
nut clarity. It's post stuffing your face clarity. That's
Guys,
what it is.
Stuffing your nut.
But when you say you don't
Stuffing-
feel good, are you talking like stomach issues, or are you?
No, like I
talking,
just
mentally?
don't feel like Tom is saying like, oh, I feel better. Like I do not feel better. Like
No.
in the moment
It is in the
eating, I'm
moment
like,
thing. Yeah.
Oh, is
Yeah.
Tom and Dad
He's
not
fucking
laughing
crazy.
at stuffing your nut?
I don't think they heard it.
Stuffing
I
your
don't
nut.
think they heard
He
it.
said, just post
Stuffing my
stuff in
nut.
your nut, Clary.
Oh, stuffing your nut. I went to one of the times I visited Tuna. It was months after his daughter had been born. The plan was Tuna was going to cook, but the baby, it was like, okay, we're just going to order stuff. Tuna ate a whole thing of a creamy pasta.
Dan knows what it is. It's Big Daddy's, Dan.
Oh, it was Big
Oh, okay.
Daddy's? Oh, did we
It
order
was.
Yeah,
Big
that's a
Daddy's?
big portion.
We ordered Big
Oh.
Daddy's.
That's a big
Okay,
portion.
The whole thing
It
of
was
the
a big
pasta,
portion.
a whole
jambalaya.
the thing of oysters or the clams or the mussels or whatever, and a thing of wings, and he ate it all. He ate.
This is not. This they
It
know
was
this.
I remember
They know this though.
It was.
I remember
I've
we went
never
to
seen anyone.
we went to
do
Alex's
that.
house a little after he got his house, and we ordered. It was like
pizza.
Like we ordered some pizzas, and like Brittany goes like, "Well, we got to at least get half vodka pizza because Alex likes his vodka slice. He's gonna have 4." I was like, 4? You just said 4, like that's his normal. He's like, everyone in the household's like, yeah, that's normal. I don't see a problem with 4 slices being my normal.
4 vodka slices. I would say pizza if I had to choose one. I think that's a good.
I was thinking snacks.
answer.
I think pizza might be
as
a
a
second.
meal.
Yeah.
Pizza's probably number 2 for
But
me.
pizza's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll do one more question from Will Brown. Which video
Willie.
game would best prepare you for surviving the end of the world?
The end of the world, Last of Us?
It depends what the end of the world is. If the end of the world is some kind of fungus taking over bodies, then yes.
I'm trying to think of it like, is it teaching us like from like a story perspective or like a mechanics perspective? Like, is there something?
Or
I
can
think
I-
what he was
well, look.
referring to is how the sky was like yellow today near us, so
Sure.
it looked like the end of the world.
Look, if I could hold as much stuff as Link can in Breath of the Wild, then Breath of the Wild. Tears for the Fears of the Kingdom. Then I'm like holding a million donuts.
I
and
feel
I'm
like
just
the answer for
eating
this
donuts.
needs to be like an open world survival game, unfortunately, right? Like
Whoa.
realistically.
What do you mean it needs to be?
Well, like what video game would best prepare you? It's probably a game like Rust or something where you're surviving.
But do you mean like what video game? Right. So like,
Do
is
they
it the
have
mechanics, or is it like I played the video game?
You know,
Now I'm prepared. If that's the case, then the island game that Dan and I played, where we were on an island.
I'm trying to think of the name of it, and I can't think of the fucking name of it.
That
Raft?
would be the game.
It was like
No,
Raft
it wasn't.
or something.
It wasn't Raft. It's like Raft, but it was called something else. Fuck. I'm gonna quickly look it up.
Stranded Deep. Stranded Deep.
Stranded Deep.
Stranded Deep. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm pulling that out.
That game would not prepare you well for the end of the world. It barely prepared us for that game.
Okay.
Yes, Christian.
There was I'm trying to see. I think they have a video game of this, but
Survivor, the board game.
But there's
Is
a
it?
video game called Worst Case Scenario. There was a board game called Worst Case Scenario where it was like cards. Our buddy had this,
Yeah.
Zippy, and it was like a yellow board game, and it was like cards, and they were like survival questions. It was like
Yes.
It came out at the time that like Bear Grylls and stuff.
Yeah,
was,
but
like,
he
really
also,
popular.
but Zippy also like knew a lot about survival stuff.
Yeah, but that would
Just, like-
probably be the best game.
Yeah, yeah. It definitely wouldn't be like Cranium. I'll tell you that right now.
Trivial
Yeah,
Pursuit.
having to know who Zsa Zsa Gabor is isn't going to help you.
Do you think the current generation, like Gen Z, has any idea who Zsa Zsa Gabor is?
No.
No.
Right? That's probably a good thing.
I don't
But
know
I'm
who
just
that
like, there's
is.
definitely like people like that. Who
Tom
just, like,
doesn't even know who it
disappear
is.
after a
And he's on the
generation.
cusp of being a millennial.
Yeah.
There you
Well,
go.
don't even worry about it. You don't have to know. It's useless information.
Zsa Zsa.
Gabor.
That bar.
Dan's got some streams coming up. Dan, where can I do that?
You can find me on Twitch, Big Danny 15. On Saturday, I'll be playing Fall Guys again, and then I'll be jumping into some new game on Tuesday because I'll finish Road 96 already. Watch
All
the
right.
stuff.
We just did another episode of our tabletop RPG, which we do on Tom's stream. Tom, you want to tell him?
Great Britom on everything, each and every platform.
Yes.
All right, you
That
know
was
where
a
to find
clear
us.
case that you weren't paying attention.
Stay Unranked, everybody.
Suck it. That was the
You're
first
talking
time.
about my streams.
Yeah,
Not
really.
I
We were
said
also-
we're doing a tabletop RPG.
Oh,
We just did another episode. You want to tell them about it?
That was that was also the first time I think in the history of this podcast that I've been surprised that the episode ended.
I saw what time it was, and I felt like I think we're
He
wrapped
just
here.
saw what time it was. He goes, whoop, click.
I was just like, I'm like,
This
we're
is the
talking about Zsa Zsa Gabor. We got to get out.
This is the first time. This is the first time I think I've been on, because I wasn't on for a while, where there was no game at the end, and it wasn't because anyone necessarily had to run out really quickly.
Also
Yeah.
true. Also
Yeah.
true. Chris literally was like producing the show and was like, okay, all right, click.
Felt like
We're
there was a
not even
lull.
outta here.
Felt like there was a
We're
lull.
not even
Look, I appreciate it.
Yeah, that was a good. He like literally like there was a little pause. He was like, the second I hear a pause, I play.
That's actually exactly what I did.
The second I can get a pause, we are gone.
Because in my head, I'm like, the only thing that can come from this pause is someone's going to start another conversation,
Yes.
which we don't have
Right.
time for. So
Yes.
we
Cut it out.
I can't believe how long that
We have
Costco
to-
rant went on for.
We have to post show
Really
about something
stunned.
now.
We
We're
do have to
posting
post
now,
about
baby.
something
We're
now.
posting now.
Well,
little inside baseball.
we're lost,
Tell you talking
baby.
about, it's great.
Oh, yeah.
we're,
talk
we're
about,
in the
talk about Lost. I mean, I watched it
You've seen
at
it.
some point in my life, so it's not like there's any
It's
spoilers.
it's too bad you've been too busy. I think you would have really liked rewatching it.
Yeah, I think I definitely would have. The problem is priorities.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Tears of the Fears of the Kingdom is going to take priority over watching Lost. So,
Yeah.
Well, we're in the first episode of season 6, so the final
Ooh.
season.
I'm more interested. No offense to you, I am more interested on where Brooke's head is.
Loving it.
That's
top of her
also what I'm
Really?
the most interested in.
Really?
Yeah, so it's funny because we have, I would say, through seasons 1 and 2, we went through at a good clip. Seasons 3 and 4, 3 really, like, we took it slowly.
But then it starts popping off. But yeah,
4 we
3
picked
is
up,
a
and then
burn.
5 we kind of flew through. And she once it moved away, she was telling me yesterday, because I was like, you're really, I didn't foresee this. I didn't foresee you really enjoying it in the end and kind of like struggling in the beginning. But it's been 2 things. One, once they started ditching like the strictly flashback format and having it be more, everything ends up being more about pushing the entire narrative forward rather than just kind of filling in people's backstories. And then 2, now that we are in this realm of like, oh, we're starting to understand what the island is. It's this primordial entity, and like Jacob and like all this stuff. They're like these kind of forces that are beyond like comprehension. She's like really enjoying that. Like, so she's like super into it right now. And the time travel stuff she was super into. And yeah, no, she's been really enjoying it, and I've been enjoying it. I think that it's it has a lot more merits than I remember, I think.
Was she a bigger fan of Jim or Sawyer?
Jim?
Jim? Whatever.
Like his like the LaFleur.
Oh, you mean LaFleur?
Yeah, his
LaFleur, yeah.
past.
When he's actually like
I think he's her favorite character in every flavor. I do think you end up missing out on some of the like Jin and Sun kind of like recede as characters, which is something that is kind of disappointing. Saeed kind of recedes as a character. But no, she's been enjoying every flavor of Sawyer. She cannot stand Jack.
yeah, that happens.
Well,
You have to watch this show.
you're in
Yeah,
Jack's like worst area right now.
Yeah. I know, but even before that, she never really liked him.
Which is, I think, kind of ridiculous, but
Yeah.
She just didn't like how he was. She liked the fact that Sawyer was brazenly like a piece of shit.
Yeah.
And Jack is like, I'm the good guy doctor, but like secretly also like a giant piece of shit as well. And I think
but he wasn't being
she couldn't reconcile.
He wasn't being the same kind of piece of shit as Sawyer.
No. But again,
like, she didn't, have Charlie abduct and then like kind of beat Sun to like get one over on Locke.
I
mean,
in a way, there's a lot of piece of shits on that island.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, a lot of these people are bad. But season 6, Jack is sort of his prime Jack moment. He basically stops being Jack and starts acting. He acts like a smarter Locke, basically, in season 6, because it's all about like, all right, like I was wrong clearly, so I'm going to try it your way now, John, kind of a thing for him.
I don't know exactly what happens at the cusp of what season, so I don't want to say anything.
So season 5
and then
is like, I think like one of the most brutal like finale of them all in some ways, because that's this one, the incident, season 5.
What is happening?
Yeah,
this is the
I remember that, but I can't remember like pseudo storylines that weren't exactly.
What book is that?
A Lost Encyclopedia.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, come on, Tuna.
Well, I'm sorry.
Season 6 ends with Juliet's death, which is
season 5.
Sorry, season 5 ends with Juliet's death.
And it actually doesn't, because
correct. Yeah.
There's
a little bleed over.
When I texted you that,
yeah.
When I texted like, fuck, dude, like they did Juliet in.
Yeah.
And then it turns out she doesn't even just get pulled by the chains magnetically into the hatch and then blown up by the nuclear bomb. She actually survives all of that, gets transported into the future where she's stuck under the rubble from the blown up Dharma hatch.
Yeah.
Like 30 years later, and Sawyer has to dig her out, and then she dies in his arms, which I was happy that they had a moment to reconcile, because her death was so brutal. It was in a weird way hard to be sad about, because it was just so violent, but they have like their final goodbye.
What was Brooks?
Go ahead.
Sorry, no, finish the thought on that. I thought
and then it just like, I thought, maybe she makes it out of this alive.
Yeah.
And maybe Chris was just fucking with me because he knew that it was a fake out.
I was really hoping she made it out of that alive. I think she's the best woman character in the show.
And when Sawyer came out and he like is staring down Jack, and like he said like earlier to Kate, he's like, if she dies, I'm gonna kill him. Brooke was like, yep, do it. Yep. What was your question?
What was her reaction when they have the first? So obviously you're gonna have to just lie to her. Like you cannot tell her like what the flash sideways is, because it doesn't work until you get to see it.
She was immediately asking me questions.
Yeah.
She was like, wait, how is Desmond?
Be like, hey, we're at the end. Let's just watch till we get there. Don't look it up. We'll just keep watching. Let's just get to the end.
I told her, she was like, wait, how is Desmond here? And I was like, well, things have changed.
Yeah.
And I was like, but I can't really and she kept asking me things, and like I was like, I just can't. The spoiler of what is happening here, like
honestly, it'd almost be better to be like, I'm not going to say it's a multiverse, but if you need to think about it that way, then like just
but it's not
until they explain it.
No.
Well, in a way, it is, because in a way they're in another dimension, But
sure.
it is.
Sure.
What was her reaction when they did that shot out of the plane? Like she already saw Desmond and Jack back on the plane. Like, what the fuck's going on? But what was that reaction when they then shoot the camera under the ocean and you see the island and the fortress statue underwater?
I don't actually think she had much of a reaction.
She noticed it? Did she figure out what was going on?
I mean, yeah,
Wait, what is this?
So like,
say this again.
Season 5, they're back in time and they decide we're gonna destroy. If we blow up the island, and there's no island for us to go to in the future, so we're gonna stop all of us from landing travel.
Right.
Yeah, that's the plan. They try to blow up the island, and instead they cause the very incident that causes the Swan Hatch to have to exist, which is the thing that brings them there in the first place. Like they're the very own cause of their own problem.
Right.
So it didn't work. But in the Flash Sideways, the island is like underwater as a way to just like misdirect the audience and make them think like, oh, is this like an alternative universe kind of a thing?
Did they ever explain why it is underwater in this?
Well, yeah, because this
realm?
dimension is sort of like made by them and for them, and like now that like it's
so it's like literally like buried. Like
yeah, the island is inconsequential to them now. They just have to kind of be brought back together. Is sort of what's happening there.
Yeah. Yeah. She didn't really have a reaction, but when like Desmond was on the plane, she was like, "Wait, what?" And I'll tell you this: what has been satisfying as a viewer who understands where they are and what's going on.
Yeah.
The little like lines of dialogue that all the characters are having to each other. Like, there's this bit where like he's chatting with Rose, and obviously because the plane doesn't crash, like Bernard comes back from the bathroom and sits down, and she says like she gives her like a very loving like "I missed you." And like you'll initially on first view, if you don't have context, you're like, "Oh, that's very sappy." But like when you understand what is happening and all that, you're like, "Oh, that's really sweet." And there's like a couple of things here and there that are like, "Oh, because I was a little bit like dreading watching The Flash sideways because I was like, is this going to be compelling? Like I'm so
I always feel that way when I get to it, and it's not because they're not good. It's just because the conversation around it, because A, a lot of people were wrong, it wasn't a multiverse, and B, a lot of people were wrong, they weren't dead the whole time, because that is just such an annoying part of the conversation that will always exist around a loss, because it's still unbelievable how many people still think that it just means they were dead the whole time. It just makes me like get to it and be like, I just almost wish they didn't even start the Flash sideways until there were like 6 episodes left, to like halfway through the final season. Because
wait, so what are the Flash sideways again?
Okay. So
yeah, give me the quick and dirty.
Tom, you want to take your headphones off for this part?
No, I mean I know
he's seen it.
Well, I know, but like some of the more interesting
sideways are.
So basically, the heart of the island,
right,
is essentially the source of life to the Earth. Like that is where all life comes from. It's where all light returns to.
Yeah.
That's why like people heal so quickly because of the proximity of it. That's why
I got that. I get
so when they died, you're physically going back there. It's not like a metaphorical thing. You're like physically returning to this point, like your soul, your light, your whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, all right.
So they're all in there waiting for each other to like eventually pass on, and then once they do, they because some of them died already. Some of them are going to survive the island and die in 70 years.
Right. Yeah, no, I know.
So they're all waiting. It's a place for them to wait for one another so that they can then move on together, so that whatever comes next, they can do. And it allowed them to sort of get that like reconcile. That's basically what it is.
Yeah, but what is the Flash sideways?
It's that place that they're in.
Oh, okay.
It's that physical, they're in the heart of the island. Their souls have returned to the heart of the island. So you could be like, oh, they were dead, but like, no, like until the Flash sideways happened, you weren't ever seeing them dead. But then everyone you see in the Flash sideways is essentially a ghost. You're looking at Ghost World.
And then
you're basically watching Ghost World.
Wait, so the Flash sideways
more than ghosts,
what exactly? Just like them imagining their own stories?
Yeah. It's like a world they created to exist in until they were all ready together.
And like the last person that shows up is like Hurley, right? Because he's
arguably it should be him or Ben, because
they're waiting around forever because they live for a long time.
Essentially, that's the most likely guess. It's possible. I mean, and it's part of why like my joke season 7 is like at the end of the show they made a like 10-minute epilogue. And Hurley and Ben go and get Walt. And they're like, we got to bring you back to the island. He's like, I want to talk to you about a job. So the assumption is Hurley's actually going to pass it on to Walt. So Hurley probably didn't live on for another couple thousand years, but we don't know. Maybe he did. We don't know. But could be.
Sounds like a post show to me.
Yep. Phalanges.